Hey, with that being said, now we've been talking about some, kind of what some things coaches can do. What we really thought to kind of help all the HBCU nation out, to just elevate all of us. We talking about taking all of our teams to the next level, right? That's what we've been saying. We want to do better out of conference, right? We want to show up against other teams and really get the job done. We said, what better way, since we got Coach Northern here, than to go under the headset and let Coach Northern really break some stuff down for us so all of us can elevate in this football knowledge, right? So this football 101. So at this time, man, we're gonna ask Coach Northern, man, if he want to go ahead and take us, under the headset and let us know what you're talking to us about on this week as we go under the headset.
So what I'm gonna talk about is basically like the front of football, the gaps on the defense, and how you can almost tell. I'm gonna flip it over to the offensive side of the ball, looking from the defensive standpoint. How can I tell my guys where I think the ball is gonna go based off alignment? So if you look at this behind me, it ain't the best handwriting, but you'll see we call these techniques. So you got your nose guard, we call that a 0. If he's shaded on the center, we call that a shade or 1. On the guard, head up is a 2. 2-eye means he's shaded on the inside shoulder of the guard. This is what most people call a 3 technique. So that's the outside shoulder of the guard. He responds for the B gap. If you head up, it's a 4, 4-eye, and a 5. So it goes, and then we're talking about gaps. Is A, B, C, and then D, depending on how far out you go. Same thing on this side. Left side, still go back with the 0. We go with a 1, or some people may call it a shade. 2-eye, head up, so forth. Now, it gets a little bit tricky when you get out here. So a 6, most people go say is head up on the tight end. If he's inside shoulder, it goes to a 7, and then if he's outside shoulder on the tight end, we call it a 9. So I'm going to erase all these techniques real quick and put people up there. The defensive players. So this is the way I label my defense. I always like to play with a 9 technique. In, tackle, in. That's my base defensive front. So if I don't tell you anything, you are responsible for the gap that you lined up in, pretty much. And then we are what we call a spill and box team. So let's flip over to the offense real quick. This is how we looked at stuff, and then we're going to get to how would I, based off where the running backs lined in. One week I'll show you based off of where the wide receivers line. So Q. So when we're looking at it from a defensive standpoint, if the running back is, we call it 1, 2, or 3. If it's a 1, that means he's in front of the quarterback. 2, he's even with the quarterback. 3, he's behind the quarterback offset. And then behind him, we just call it pistol. That's what most people call it. If it's a 1, it's going to be a pass more than likely. If it's 2, depending on where he is, outside run. 3 is more inside runs. So that's how we look at it from a defensive standpoint to tell us where the ball is going. Then the other thing we looked at, so if I tell my guys that the 2B, so that means he's even with the quarterback, but he's lined up in the B gap. That's going to tell my linebackers and secondary where we think the ball is going if it's 2B. So if I say 3A, so that means he's in the A gap behind the quarterback. We're looking for something inside. So that's a real quick summation of how we look to where the ball is going to go. And when you sitting in the stands looking at the ball game, if it's a one-back set, then that's something that you can pick up and you can say, oh, he's in a 2. Let's see if the ball go outside. If he's in a 1, let's see if it's a pass, especially in a one-back set. if I was to go back to coaching high school or college ball, I'm gonna line up in pistol more than I am 2A, 3B, and we're gonna run the same play. So that's just a real quick look at what I'm telling my guys to look for based off of where this guy is, and then what gaps. And then one day I'll tell you how we gap, what we call gap exchange. It's pretty easy, but that's what you should look for when you in the stands. Where's the one back and where the ball going from that one back, and see if that holds true. Lost the sound.
Can't hear you, Liner.
Okay.
Listen, we trying to elevate. We're trying to elevate the HBCU community here, right? You know what I'm saying? We're trying to upgrade when you talk about, you know, understanding this game of football. And so, first and foremost, we appreciate you, Coach Northern, for just giving us a chance to break these things down, so we can have a better understanding, even as fans, right? So when we're going to the game and we're watching the game, we can watch the game with a different mindset and different thought process to really understand what's going on. So, Kerry, man, what's your thoughts of the first breakdown under the headset?
I'm ready to tackle somebody. I know where they're going now. I'm ready to come up and hit that B gap because that's where they coming.
Hey, listen, Mr. Mika is always ready to hit somebody. You know, everything.
Hey, and the funny thing about it, like if you sit and watch long enough, it's a good way if you want your lady to stay around, teach her some stuff like that, and it'll make sense to her. And we sitting there watching the game. Adam sees a formation.
Yeah.
He says, "Here come the mesh route," because he noticed it was a compressed formation. Or he said, "Oh, that guy about to run this," because he looked at, is he above the numbers or the bottom of the number? And I'll talk to you how we come up with top and bottom of the numbers and why the numbers are the way they are. Hey, my boy hit me up with that base zebra, baby. We gonna make it work. Hey, zebra just mean cover two for the out that don't know. That's what zebra means.
Hey, listen, man. So again, man, we appreciate Coach Northern for coming and sharing some information on us. If you guys have any specific question or anything you say, hey, you know, I would love for Coach Northern to break down this concept, right? I got a question about this specific, even play in a game, for example, that you say, hey, can Coach Northern break this down and maybe give us an understanding of what the defense was thinking, what the offense was thinking, why we would kind of call that play in this position and that place of the field. Put it in the comments. Let us know because we're going to be here every week under the headset with Coach Heish Northern. And yeah, go get your pads. And go to that base set because we coming. So with that said, though, now